And gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your host for this afternoon, Abby Tomlinson.
To tell you more about why the North East needs a People's Vote, it's long-time and leading supporter of the People's Vote campaign, Redcar MP Anna Turley.
No matter how anyone voted in the North East 3.5 years ago, no one voted for this. No one voted to shut down your parliament, your representation. No one voted for a reckless gamble with jobs and livelihoods here in the North East. No one voted for the destruction of manufacturing on a scale that would make Margaret Thatcher blush. No one voted to devastate the NHS by disrupting the flow of life-saving medicines, including for cancer diagnosis and therapy. No one voted to put 25% tariffs on the export of companies on the banks of the Tees and put them out of business and on the dole. No one voted for this.
I just think it's very important, especially that rallies like this are organised in the North East. Because, well, initially it's seen as a huge Brexit area, especially Sunderland, which was beamed all over the world as being this huge Brexit place. So it's very important to shake off that image. And we know that people have changed their minds because as North East for Europe, we're out on the streets several times a week sometimes, and even in Sunderland, people have changed their mind, whether it's because they're worried about their jobs at Nissan or they're worried about funding, the NHS, lots of different reasons. People have changed their mind. A lot of people said they voted for Brexit because it was a kick against Cameron and the Conservative government. And a lot of people said they didn't really think it was actually going to go through. So we know people have changed their minds. Also, this movement, Remain movement, People's Vote movement, often gets accused as being very London-centric and very liberal elite. So, again, let's show it that it's not just a southern movement, it's very much a northeast movement as well. Look how many people we got there today. I mean, we were worried we were actually going to have to turn people away at one point. So that was my job. I was trying to help fit everyone in, which we did in the end, but you saw how full it was. So.
But actually, people seem more and more interested in Brexit, and they seem to be more opposed to Brexit, because we also saw yesterday, it was quite spontaneous yesterday, you organized like a demonstration, and what are your feelings? Because I think the turnout was quite good.
Well, that's, so I grew up around here, and that's the biggest rally that I've ever seen at Gray's Monument. Normally, if you say you get 1,000 people at Gray's Monument, that's a huge turnout. Yesterday, we estimated 3,000. And we've noticed that in our North East for Europe inbox after the announcement about proroguing of Parliament. We were absolutely inundated of people saying we haven't been involved before, but this has pushed us over the cliff edge and we need to get involved. To the point we were struggling to keep up answering all of this people who wanted to suddenly get involved, which is again what we saw yesterday at the rally, and there was also a lot of leavers there at that rally yesterday, and it's something that has maybe finally united us, although it's a really awful thing. And I felt sick when I heard the news on Wednesday. I think both leavers and remainers felt sick when they heard that news about proroguing of Parliament. So even if you want Brexit, well, we still want our democracy as well, and you can't just suspend Parliament. So yesterday for me felt like the first rally I've been to where Remainers and Leavers were kind of united on common ground, which actually felt really good. And it felt like maybe it was a bit of a breakthrough.
Right, I would help facilitate that deal through Parliament, but only if it goes back to the British people for confirmation. Brexit is the biggest issue facing this country in 100 years in peacetime. That's why I think if there is a vote of this amongst the British people, then it should be a people's vote first and a general election second. Because if you have a general election, it starts off with walking and ends with the middle. It's vitally important that we have this issue settled one way or the other, with everybody able to look at the facts as they are today with what they were promised 3.5 years ago. It started with the people and it should end with the people.
What will happen to jobs, prosperity and people's future here in the North East? The North East, which so much depends upon being able to export, to sell our goods into Europe. Hitachi, Nissan, all these great companies, all of them in jeopardy if Brexit happens, and if no deal happens, then you can wave goodbye to tens of thousands of jobs in this region. That is the ultimate betrayal of this region. No deal, and allowing an arrangement to go ahead that means there is no provision whatever for selling the goods that we produce here in the North East into the markets of Europe. What should we be saying here in the North East? No to no deal. So come on, what are we saying? No to no deal.
Many people have made sacrifices for the cause. Few, if any at all, have risked so much for a people's vote as our next speaker. Our movement is made up of people from all parties and none. But she's earned respect of all of them. So please give your warmest welcome to the irreplaceable Anna Soubry.
This is the biggest crisis our country has faced since the Second World War, and we will simply no longer stand by and allow this terrible thing to happen to our country. We will stand up, we will be true to our principles, we will speak out loudly. We have made a terrible mistake. The only way through the crisis is now to have that people's vote.
The Let Us Be Heard campaign is essentially about ensuring that we really make the call for another referendum to end the Brexit impasse. So we've been having meetings all around the country. We end up with a huge march in London on the 19th of October. But I particularly cover some of the events in the north. So we've had 2 now in the northeast. But really what it's about is encouraging, we bring together politicians, celebrities, people, local people, activists to really try and have a debate about this issue around Brexit, and ensure that what started with the people goes back to the people. We have a strong view that what happened in 2016, the facts and the promises which came out in 2016, it's very different in 2019. A lot's changed in that time. But we also feel that in order to resolve this kind of democratic impasse, we have to have more democracy, which is why we call for another referendum, or what we call a people's vote. So we have these events in places like Newcastle. We had one in Sunderland, in places like Leeds, to try and talk to communities and try and get them to come along and hopefully support our message.
And there is only one way through the mess, and that is to take this matter back to the British people and to have that people's vote. So stand up for what you believe in, get on out there, make the case, and if we keep on going, and if we're true to our principles, and we fight like we've never fought before, I believe we can win this. We can win a people's vote, win Remain, and keep the best deal that we have with the EU, which is the current deal with